Hey footy fans, let's get into the round 21 recap. Started on the Friday night, the Dogs taking on the Tigers, and the Doggies getting a great win, 126-71 the final scores. It was a team effort by the Dogs. It was a great win, and I think why it was a great win is because we saw some really great football, and it was because the Tigers were allowing the Dogs to play their style of footy. Really move that ball around, have the whole team chip in at their best, and really have those forwards like Jamari Ugle-Hagan and others present themselves well at the ball and get on the score sheet. Dustin Martin and Trent Cotchin were not selected in this game. I thought that was a poor decision. I feel like the Tigers took this game too lightly, because if they were going to take it seriously, I would have played Dusty and Cotchin, and I think they needed to, because you have to look at these two sides fighting for a spot in September in the 8, and I just think the Tigs should have taken it a lot more seriously and kind of played it like a do-or-die game, but they didn't. On Saturday, Essendon just beat the Eagles 73-72, a really close game. I thought the Bombers should have won this one with a lot more dominance, but they didn't, and credit to the Eagles on their efforts. Cole Langford had 5 goals, one of which was the winner to close the game out, and the Bombers just getting there in the last minute or so. The Crows beat the Suns 89-61. Crows too good on the home soil. A nice team effort by them, and it was great to see Darcy Fogarty getting on the score sheet. He kicked 3 goals and giving good old Tex Walker a bit of a rest. I think Tex kicked 1 or 2. The Hawks beat the Pies 105-73. This one really surprised me, and I think surprised many. The Hawks were on from the start. The Pies only kicked 3 behinds in the first quarter. Nick Dacos unfortunately has a hairline fracture in his knee. He will miss 6 weeks. So really sad news there for Nick. Obviously being a Brownlow medalist contender. Look, there's a lot of people are thinking maybe he can still get it. Maybe he'll be ahead in the votes. Personally, I don't think he'll get there, but I think he'll definitely be in the top 3, that's for sure. It's a real shame for Nick Dacos, not only because he was having a fantastic season, but he's a key part to this Collingwood team, and also because he's so young and the Pies obviously going to make the finals. Just a real shame, but hopefully he can have a speedy recovery and he can maybe get 1 or 2 games in throughout the finals if the Pies can go far. The soccer tricks were out in this game, and I think it was because of the spirit of the World Cup. Hawthorn had a few players who just pulled out the old soccer tricks out of the bag, were kicking it around, and I absolutely loved that. Led to a great goal, and well done to the Hawks on the win. The Cats took on Port Adelaide, the Cats winning 97-85. It was a great game of football. I felt a bit sorry for Jason Horne-Francis. Late in the game, he was called for a push in the back and then gave away a 50-metre penalty due to dissent. That just comes down to maturity, because he gave a lot of lip to the umpire. But that was a bit stiff for the push in the back call. I thought it was a good tackle. I did think that Port Adelaide did a great job getting the ball forward in a matter of seconds, and he got pinged for that. So a real deflator there for Port, but still a great effort. And the Cats at home, they get the job done and keep their finals hopes well and truly alive. Speaking of finals hopes, the Giants, well, they lost to the Swans 85-96, and the Swannies kind of giving themselves a rebirth and a real push for a spot in the top 8. The Giants' 7-game winning streak has been snapped, and their crosstown rivals in the Sydney Swans. What a win, a great game, and well done to the Swannies. On Sunday, the Roos, they put up a good effort for some parts of the game, you have to say, losing to the Demons 71-103 up in Tassie. The Roos led by around 30 points in this game. The D's kicked 7 goals in the second quarter, and then they absolutely rolled the Roos in the second half. Roo boys, look, I was really impressed with that first quarter. Eddie Ford kicking 3 goals. Jack Zeeble with 32 disposals. I thought, gee, the Roos might be on here. It was a great effort. Eventually, you did kind of have that sense that the Demons were going to come back at a stage in the game, and they eventually did. Cosy Pickett kicked a ripper goal. Christian Petrarca was there as well, doing his thing, and the D's get the win. The Saints took on the Blues. A similar situation to the Roos and D's game. The Saints were up by, a few goals. Then they lost 54-73. The Blues started to get on a roll, got things going, a great comeback. And it was a player like Jesse Motlop which provided a spark for this team. And those Blue Baggers, they kind of look unstoppable at the moment. Their fans are absolutely loving it. Michael Voss and his team, come finals time, hopefully they can hang in there. I think they will. They're looking really good. To finish off round 21, the Dockers took on the Lions at Optus Stadium. Freo just falling short, 74-77. Freo nearly had it. They fought until the end, but Chris Fagan, once again, nervous as ever in that coach's box, but a sigh of relief at the end of this one, and as Brizzy got the 4 points on the road. Folks, it's time for Isaac's GMP of the round. Let's get straight into it because there were many goals to choose from for a goal of the round. I ended up going with Michael Frederick. Watching the Freo and the Brisbane game, it was an intense game, and late in the game, Freo needed a goal desperately. Great ball movement by Fremantle. Under pressure, Michael Frederick, calm, composed, check side banana, bent it straight through the middle, and it looked absolutely fantastic. As Dwayne Russell would say, bent it to perfection, and that's exactly what we saw by Michael Frederick. Just a real shame that Freo fell short because they definitely put up a great effort. My mark of the round goes to Christian Petrarca from the Melbourne Demons. It was just... he's a great player. He can do it all. He's a ball magnet. He can get on the score sheet scoring goals. He can also take a great grab as we saw against the Roos. Great focus on the ball. Eyes all on the footy. A nice launch. Absolutely nailed it. And a great pair of hands on him to bring that ball down and to go back and kick the goal was a bonus for him. My player of the round... I know there are a few, but just to see how dominant he was in what was a great win for those doggies. Marcus Bontempelli, take a bow. One of the best players this season in the whole competition. 32 disposals, 3 goals, 6 marks, 9 tackles, 10 inside 50s, 10 clearances, 11 score involvements, 549 metres gained. When the doggies are playing that well, we see a player like Marcus Bontempelli get on the score sheet. We see him do it all. And he is just a fantastic player. And now with Nick Dacos, who is unfortunately injured, which is a real shame. Once again, wishing Nick a real speedy recovery. Marcus Bontempelli, a huge door is open for him to have a few great games to win the regular season. And most likely get his hands on the Brownlow medal. It's going to be a tight finish. But I've been saying it since round 6, since Tuke Miller got injured. I've been saying Marcus Bontempelli, it's his to win. And I'm really hoping he can, because what a season he is having, and the doggies looking good, I have to say, after that win. They're a chance to hang in the 8 and play finals football. Folks, round 22, would you believe it? We're already here, nearing the season's end. The Pies and the Cats at the MCG. This one's going to serve up an absolute treat. I'm tipping the Cats by 17 points, and maybe Craig McRae might be pulling his hairs out because the Pies lately... not getting the wins, but eventually I guess they had to cough 1 or 2 up sooner or later. As always, gotta love footy. Like that recap and you want to see more of my content, remember to hit that thumbs up, like, comment, and hit that red button down there that says subscribe. Much appreciated. For more content, follow me on my Facebook page and also my Instagram page.